all you crafty people, welcome back. My name's Lisa. If you're new, thank you very much for joining. If you're one of my old friends, welcome back. We are going to make a large acetate window page pocket. So window pocket for this is the third base page, okay? And so the front of this is going to be a big pocket where you can see through. So you do need to have a piece of acetate. If you don't have acetate, if you have like page protectors, you can cut that, and you just have to kind of stretch it a little bit, you know, because it's just a softer plastic. But anything like that will work if you don't have a piece of actual acetate. If you have from something that you bought and you've got some packaging, that sometimes that plastic, I cut that out and save it. So hopefully you can find something. If not, just make the big pocket and don't cut the center part out, and then it'll be just as nice, and you can just decorate the whole outside of the pocket instead of whatever it is that I might do. So, okay, so we're going to start by getting a piece. Let's see, I can't really use this. So, I am going to cut on the 11th side. I'm going to make it 9.5. 9.5. Make sure I am getting there properly. Okay. And remember to save all your bits and pieces. So there's 9.5, and then on this side I need it 7 3/4. 7 3/4. Okay. All right, so now we need the scoreboard. And let's see, we want the 9.5 side across the top. Let me put my lid on my glue because I'm not going to need it just yet. Okay, so on the 9.5 side, I'm looking at my notes here so I get it right. We're going to do a 1/2 inch. And then we're doing 3/4 of an inch. And then we're doing 1 inch. And then we're doing 1 3/4 inch. Okay? We are going to flip it around. And we are going to do a 1/2 inch. 3/4 of an inch. 1 inch. 1 3/4 inch. All right? Now we're going to put the 7.5 or 7 3/4 side up, and we are going to do 1/4 of an inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1.5 inches. We're going to flip that around. And we're going to do it again, 1/4 of an inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1.5 inches. Okay, so where your 3 lines come together, there are 9 little boxes in these little corners over here. So you're going to cut out the 9 boxes on the outside score mark, outside of the score mark. So you're taking the boxes and the surrounding score marks off. Okay? You're going to do that on all sides. Da, 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 da. So I did this once, and it worked out perfectly. It looked great, but then it was like but I couldn't put a lid on it because I made it the whole size of the page. And I thought, well, I'd rather be able to close it because it's going to be a accordion. So, you know. Now, we have our two sides, and we have one that's a bottom and one that's a top. So for right now, we're going to pick one of them that is the top, and we're going to cut off at that first score mark. Cut the score mark off. So now we have our two sides, our bottom and our top. Okay? So we are going to start at the sides. No, let's go ahead and cut our center out first. It's just easier, I think, than having all those little folded pieces of paper to deal with. Okay, so we are going to cut the score mark, this most inner score mark on all four sides. We're going to cut the score mark completely off. It makes for a prettier edge. And I don't know if this is cutting. Yes, it is. Okay. If you go past your corner, don't worry about it because you're going to be putting paper on. So you will I don't know why this blade must be just really dull. There we go. Trying to keep it very neat. Let me see. I've got this one. But, you know, certainly don't try and go past. Yeah, this one works much nicer. There we go. And one more. All right. Sometimes a scissor might work better than trying to use the cutter again, but this is back where that first one was. There we go. And then there. Okay. So, and again, don't throw that away. So now you can see we have a very nice frame. Now I'm going to take my acetate, and it's going to work fine here, but it is definitely too long. As long as it is inside the score marks, the first score marks now that you come to, as long as it's inside there, you're going to be fine. But, and usually I try and take a marker. Here we go. And I'm just going to make a little mark, and I'm going to cut that off. Right at my little mark. And there we go. And I don't throw those away because they make really nice little tiny windows. So, yeah. Okay. So there we go. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and get our folds done. And we can put our 1/8 of an inch score tape right along the edge. I'm leaving just a little bit of the black so that it's not, I know it's not hanging over so that you'll be able to see it from the front. So I am leaving just a little teeny bit of black. And I'm kind of just folding this around so I've got one continuous score tape, so I'm not taking off piece after piece after piece. Ah! Okay, let's burnish that down, and we're going to leave that on there while we go ahead and fold. So let's start with the innermost fold and then just back and forth until we have a nice fold mark. And you do want the folds to line up, so make sure that you are getting them lined up. Okay, there's that one. Again, innermost, and then just back and forth. Too far? No, I think that's going to be good. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to do the bottom same way. Open the sides up a little bit, and then just do the accordion fold back and forth. And of course we have the 1/2 inch because we had enough room to do that. I suppose I could have done the other. The first one I did, I only had a 1/2 inch. I could have done a full 1/2 inch as the first one, but it's fine. It'll be plenty big enough. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the 1/2 inch flap, and we're going to pinch the 2/4 inch pieces that are making the mountain. Can you see there's my 1/2 inch flap? I'm going to pinch together the 2/4 inch pieces, and I'm going to take my scissors, and at that score line I'm going to cut an angle away. Okay, so it's no longer square, it is angled away, and I will show you why I'm doing that. So when I go to attach and square these up, and I'm putting the long side on the inside and then the bottom on the outside, they're not vying for space. There's plenty of space for where, if you look at this side where it's not cut yet, I can't get these two pieces, these two, to line up anyway. So that's the reason that we're giving it some space. It doesn't have to be crazy, just so we can give it some space and it can do its accordion thing. You just want to make sure that you get this piece underneath the back side. Okay, underneath the back side. If you don't get it underneath the back side, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and square these up. Let me put this dangerous apparatus away. Okay, glue time. So I'm just going to put some glue on both of these ends. And we're just going to bring this, bring these together and then close it up. And then just hold that for a second. Okay. Make sure you're not gluing your accordions together, and that looks great. Okay, so now I'm going to take off my piece here. Boop, doop, boop. All right. And we're going to slide this in. Yeah. Okay. Let's get it into the bottom and start it from there. Okay, get in. There we go. All right, and then just let it lay down. Just want to make sure that when it's laid down, it's not buckled anywhere. So there you go. That is wonderful. Okay, now for this piece, we're going to fold the rest of our edge over and burnish. I didn't tell you when you're laying this down to make sure you get down past the inside score line of the frame, you know, of this top piece. You wanted to make, I got it just below it. Just below it. So then I'm just going to, the art glitter glue does stick on acetate. You need to, you know, just kind of be knowledgeable if your glue, I know Scotch, I believe, does not. I do not remember if Aleene's does. I haven't owned Aleene's in quite some time. But some of them will, and some of them will not stick to the acetate. But the art glitter glue will. Or you could just use the double-sided tape. Whatever floats your own boat, baby girls. And guys, if there's any listening, it still says I have 100% female, which I'm fine with. I love females. I do. They're all good. Okay, so now let's bring our page. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And okay, so I have made it where it's not the full length of the page, full width of the page. And I am going to leave the same amount on the bottom. But I am going to make a cover for this. And basically, let's see. This was the piece that was cut out the center. It's not quite long enough. Let me see. I think I have a couple other pieces here. This one will do. I think this one will do. I'm going to first, I've got a couple raw edges here. Okay. And this side. I'm just cleaning it up. This was the piece that I did first. And so it's got the score marks on the edges. So I just wanted to clean it up. So now let's see. You can make it where it's going to be the same width, which is what I'm going to do. So basically all I'm going to do is lay it down and make a mark. And I am going to use the top just in case there's a little bit of a difference. So there's that. So I'm going to cut to make this the same. There we go. Okay, for some reason. All right. This is the same kind of thing you clean your glasses with. It helps a little bit, but and no matter what you do, you're still going to get stuff stuck on it. Okay, so this is the same width, and we still want to do the accordion for this. So we're going to get, we can do the little scoreboard. So this is the width here, yeah. So that is 6 1/4 inches. So I'm putting the 6 1/4, and it just does not look straight. Hold on a second. Let me see here. That's straight. That is not, or this is not. Okay, this is not. That's what's throwing me off right here. All right, now, is that straight? That's straight. And that's straight, so it must be there. I think this is the, no? Yeah, that was a little off. Okay. Still does not look straight. I'm sorry, guys. Huh. There. Ha! Okay. So, let's see. Hopefully, though, yeah, we're still good. All right. Oh, come on. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. So 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1. Okay, and we're going to, let's see, fold the first one, the most inside one first. I started to do it the other way, but we'll just do it this way. It's how I've been doing it. Might as well keep doing it that way. Okay. So there we go. And then we want to see how far down we want it. And I am going to place it so that it is the same distance all the way around. And then we're just going to use a snippet of paper. Okay, so there's that. And this will go right up about there. Okay. Do I want it to come down that far? I don't think so. I think we're going to do this. However, well, let's go ahead and do that. So it's actually going to be down about 2 inches down on the envelope. Okay, so there's, because I don't know if yours are the same as mine. I will give you the measurements of this. So this is going to be, with all the folds already in, it's just a little longer than, well, no, it's 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Okay, so that's how far this is, 2 3/4, and then you have your accordion and your flap. So there's that part. Now let's first, and because there's only 1/4 inch here, I am going to use my score tape and glue, because, you know, I want it to be definitely staying put. But first, let me just go ahead and get this on. And I'm going to do this one down close to the bottom and then up closer to the top. But I also left room for glue. Okay, so this is basically ready, but we do need to prep our page before we do anything else. Okay, so we're going to need a strip, and a strip, and then a larger strip here. So, what do we have? What do we have that's going to be large enough? Let's see if I do half an inch, I believe. Yeah, that's not going to really do much. And that won't work because of the sideways thing. Okay. And this isn't... I guess we're using this one. I guess we're using this one. So I have the full 8-inch here. So I am going to do two 1/2 inches. Three 1/2 inches. Gonna have to do 3. Gonna have to. So let's see what our initial thing is. So there is, let's see, that is 7/8, 3/4, 5/8. So that is a 1/2 inch. Right? No. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Can't count the one you're starting at, Dingleberry. So there's a 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's 3 1/2 inch strips. And we're going to place these down just like we would, leaving a nice little black edge. But first, I remembered. Okay, well, we lost me. I don't know where, but sorry. I know it's way more fun when you can see me. At least that's what I've been hearing, people like that. Okay, so there's one, 2, oops. Oh, and I have added some green and some craft cardstock, just because we were going to have to. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was going to run out. You know, so yeah. So we're definitely happy to have that. Alrighty. Just leave yourself a nice little black edge. Make sure you're staying away from that. There we go. This piece will probably go up over this, and I think I'm going to be fine with that because you're not really going to be able to see too much of it anyway. Oops. I might, come to think of it, have to do another one. Because I'm just thinking the top, I don't know if I have enough. I do. I'm sure I do. Okay, so now I'm going to just pop these, get my pencil, and I'm going to make a mark right where this needs to be cut and right where this needs to be cut. And I'm just going to use my scissors. Usually I can do from one to the other pretty well. I can usually do that pretty well. Okay. And a smidge. Just needed a smidge more. There we go. Perfecto. All right. So there's that one. Just add it end to end. Beautiful. We can actually get rid of this now. Okay. All right. So you see how that's going to just give that a nice little border. There you go. It's a nice little border. And I do have quite a bit of hair. Imagine that. There's hair. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take off. Let me close that up and put it away because I'll be cutting myself on it if I don't. Okay, let me take off the bottom. Well, and I'm sitting here thinking now, I could take one of these, because this would put it, and run it through. I don't think that it was going to make a difference. No, it does not have to be perfectly in there as long as it's somewhat in there. However, I don't know how far up to take it. Pencil. Put this down in here along the bottom. I'm going to put this back on so that I don't have to worry about it. There we go. Okay, and then this is going in the center, and I'm going to slide this down just a little bit because I don't want it to go up past this because I'll have the blue. So let's pull this right here. Yeah, so it's approximately 1/4 of an inch. I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm just moving it down just a little bit, but it's approximately 1/4 of an inch down, maybe a 3/8, maybe a 3/8. And then I'm going to make this mark right here. And let me cut this piece first. And then we'll cut this piece. I mainly brought these in for photo mats, so that there is something on the black pages that are coming up instead of just black pages. So this fits in here very nicely. And then this goes over the top so you don't see if there's anything not, you know, covered. You're covered. Do I like that? I think I'd rather just have the black. But you make that decision, okay? Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with the black. And I just don't know that I'm ready to quite stick this down yet. I want to take this and bring it from one end to the other, but this has got a little bit of the white showing in it, so I'm going to just snip that off. Okay, so if I go without this, if I go from end to end, I can get that cut, but I want to leave pieces as long as I can. So, bringing this back, I do want this to go up. And let's see. Come on. Okay. So there's that. I want to bring it up so you cannot see it under here. And that works. And then I want to bring it up so it will leave the same black mark, black edge that I have all the way around. Just, I hope that makes sense to you. So I'm first going to go ahead and cut this one, and then I'll cut this one. Always looking to leave the largest pieces of paper. There's that. And there's that. We'll see how well we did. Leave a little black edge all the way around and a little bit more off. I do see where I left some of that mark. There. It wasn't much. And I'm going to flip this way so I can see what I'm doing. Nice little black edge all the way around. And that lines up very nicely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and ink this. And glue it down. Hello. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I must have filled my phone up. So I'm at 40 minutes here. So I know I'm getting kind of close on the video too. I've been going to town on this sucker. Okay, so just going to lay that down. Line my edges up. There we go. Voila. Okay, so now that's going to look awesome. Okay, and then my top here, instead of it being, I don't know, let's see. It's going to work. And put that up there. Okay, but how am I going to close it? Well, let me tell ya. I think we're going to do the stringy thing again, all right? And I think I'm going to use maybe a large one here, and then this is just going to have some paper over it. And nothing I have out. Oh, well, this. I could do that. Maybe I'll do the roses. I have not really used these roses yet at all. But I think whatever I do this, I would like this, and the stamps would work on this, not on this piece though, because they're like 3/4 of an inch wide. They would be perfect on the top and the bottom, but you'd cut them all to heck and back across here because they're 7/8 and not 3/4. So you would cut off part of it, and you know I don't like doing that as much. But I guess I could do like the green here. Do these going up the side. I don't want a million different things though. And 3 rows of birds would work on this very nicely. Oh, the only thing is I don't want this there and then this here. Okay. What else do I have? This is the one with the blue. So I don't want to use that one. Okay, well, we're just going to have to get into the book and pull out another piece of paper. Yes, that's what we're going to do instead of trying to piecemeal this one together. So we could use this to fill everything. We could, or we could do all red. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure I really like that one. And then we have another one of those, but the seagulls wouldn't work, and you'd kind of lose this too. Now I do have the roses, where I could do the roses all over. Like I said, I haven't really done anything with these roses, probably because they're not my favorite. So I could do strips of the roses, and there's definitely enough that I can cut one strip across and then cut the tall pieces. So I could do the roses, and then maybe, let's see where the roses are, right here. Do I like, no. Do I like, no, not really. So then maybe we will Then maybe we will do the strip, the roses, and then a stamp. Yes, I do believe. And I think I like this one up here and this one in the center. Because I think a bigger one would be very nice. Okay. Okay. What do you think? Very aggravating, actually, that I have to be this. Oh my gosh, very aggravating that I have to be this tight with my paper, but it's all good, you know. We have to learn to make our paper last and get every little shred that we can, if you know, if that's what's required. So it's good. It's a good practice because it gets you out of, I don't know, it like puts a different thought process in your head. So I am going to cut 1 3/4 inch strip this way. And then I believe I will have enough left of the length everything in there properly. Okay, and then this should be perfect. Wow, isn't that nice? Okay. Work on keeping the same edge all the way around. Make sure your paper's pushed up evenly against. There we go. And then this side, just in case they're a little different. I never just assume that one side's going to fit just like the other, because rarely, unless you're a perfect crafter, perfect cutter, you know, rarely does it work. Okay, and that still left us plenty of that. So, I believe this was this edge, this was this edge, and this is this edge. And I think I'm going to glue them over each other on the bottom. I think that'll be fine. Yeah. So I'm going to ink these, glue them down, and I think we're going to call this enough for today, guys. And when we're back tomorrow, we will, or next day, we will install our piece. And then and this one is definitely going to have to get cut, but I'm going to go ahead and but then we will install our pocket down and then put our lid on, and do our closures and all. Okay? I love you all so much. Talk to you later. Bye.